In this informative tutorial, I want to show you how you can literally turn on the lights in a photograph and bring out lots of extra detail that your camera captured but might not be showing you. So I'll go to File and Open in Chapter 8. I'm going to open up 8.9, Shadows and Highlights. And what I'm going to do is start at the bottom, and I'm going to click and drag over both of them. If this is a class assignment, you're going to turn in both images. Okay, so one, we have this outdoors image where the sunlight was coming from above and behind. So all of this detail really falls into the black areas. And then we have an indoor shot where I pointed the camera toward the window, and then everybody is getting all cast in darkness as well. Two shots that aren't the greatest. Okay, so I'm going to start with file number 1. And again, the first thing you do is do not work on your original photo. I'm going to hit Command J on my Mac or Control J to make a copy jump to another layer. And then I'm simply going to go to Image menu, Adjustments, Shadows and Highlights. Watch the detail of Walt's face right here. Now I can see everything. That is amazing. So when you get this window, I always want to make sure I click Show More Options, and then I can drag the radius slider. Every time you let go, you're going to see the result. So the more I go to the left, the more it's going to bring out some more of that shadow detail. I can take my tone and adjust that, or I take my amount. And usually the amount you want to keep in more of the dark ranges there. Highlights, I can drag that over, but then you're going to lose a lot of that brightness. So I'm going to want to keep that. I have a mid-tone, so I can drag that left and right and just adjust the mid-tone to something that I think looks good. And I have the color. So I can drag that left and right, because if I drag to the right, I'm going to see all this purple and this yellowish orange. So I might want to tone down the color a little bit on that. And here's your preview. There's before and there's after. Great way to capture more of that detail in these statues. So I'll click OK. I like that result. At least I can see the difference there. Now I'm going to go to an indoor shot, and again, Command J or Control J on a PC to make a copy jump. And I'm going to try it one more time. Image menu, Adjustments, Shadows and Highlights. Now it's like turning on a light in the room. There's before and there's after. That's pretty cool. I can drag this slider over. Maybe go a little brighter right there. And I'll drag my radius slider just to see what kind of values I'm going to get here. Go with something like that. And I'll click the preview. There's before, there's after. And I click OK. But I don't like how bright this area got. I really wanted the lower half. Okay, so what you can also do is kind of blend your photos together. I can create a layer mask on that top layer. D for default colors. X to switch to black. And with a large brush, I hold Control and Option on my Mac, and I drag to the right, and I'll drag up for a soft brush. On a PC, I would hold Control, Alt, and use the right mouse button to make my brush bigger. And you can see if I turned off the top layer, the table's a little darker. I kind of like that cast shadow right there. I like some of these values up in here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go on the layer mask, and with a really big brush, just kind of paint and scrape all that brightness off. I don't want that up there. I don't need it down here. Maybe get a few shadows under the couch. I can take some of that brightness back out into the plant life back out there. And now I get a better value arrangement. So you could see only the two subjects that I'm really focusing on are getting that lighting treatment. I don't really care about the ceiling up there. So that's another way, and here's what my top layer looks like. I scraped off all the plant life and the ceiling. I scraped away the table, so I only preserve the area that I wanted to lighten up in the first place. Gives you more balance instead of lightening up the whole darn thing. So keep that in mind when you go to do your photo editing yourself. I'm going to come back to my outdoor scene. Now I can see a lot more detail in those statues. And I can kind of do the same thing here. I wanted to focus on the statues. I didn't really care about these plants over here or the base of the statue or anything. So I'll do the same thing. I'll add a layer mask, D for default colors, X for black, and I'll take my brush and we'll go with a slightly smaller brush for detail. And now I can paint in this area right here. We'll just darken in that little lamp post and the plants. Maybe darken in the base of our statue right there. That looks good. So now I focus more on the statues. Okay, I can kind of darken in some of this area right here. Don't really care about that guy. There we go. And now I bring the focus back to the part that I wanted people to focus on. So now you know the results. I'm going to go to File menu, Save a Copy. And this will be last name, first name, Disney statue. On my desktop as a JPEG, always high quality. I can close that out. Don't need to save it anymore. And I'll do the same thing for this one. File menu, save a copy, last name, first name. We'll just call that Shadow Highlights. Or you can call it Two Girls on the Couch. I don't care. Desktop, JPEG, always high quality. And that's how you deal with touching up some good quality photos and good value adjustments for better balance here in Photoshop.